Hello, everyone. I welcome you to the journey of self. This is your coach, Mehnaz Amjad. In this series, we will be embarking on a journey together with an intention to help you take one step closer to your best self. This series is designed to help you overcome obstacles that are holding you back from living your best life. Let's get started. In our today's title, I would like to talk to you about how one could lessen our usage of phone and social media. I often get a lot of questions on Quora, sometimes personally written to me, to help with techniques and tips which could help someone actually de-addict from the constant use of their mobile phones and or sometimes perhaps toward a particular app like a Facebook, Instagram, or any other. I've been writing back to those who reach out to me, but I thought, let me just create a small podcast series on it, which could help not just them, but even many out there who find themselves so hooked up onto their phones and social media applications that it's slowly getting into an addiction, a behavior which is no longer normal, but which require over a period of time help to actually de-addict from such behaviors. And it's not good for your mental health and even for your eyesight. So in our session today, I just would like to share with you some 5 simple tips that I follow, which has helped me a great deal in being more productive with time, because by God's grace, I never had any kind of addiction either to my mobile phone or to any of the social media platforms. My coaching business is all over several platforms, right from Pinterest to Quora to Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. I have a page on Facebook, and also on LinkedIn, there's a group, and there are hundreds of people part of my network. However, even though I actively, with the help of my marketing team, we work actively on social media, and you will find us everywhere. But I would like to tell you, friends, that there are multiple very sophisticated tools that can post on our behalf, and we don't really need to be there. So, but that's for those who are running their marketing campaigns on social media and not really hooked on to a particular platform or social media and constantly browsing it, checking in and scrolling in and just constantly chatting, which after a period of time becomes so much part of life that there's nothing else seems to be making any sense except for the addiction. So the 5 simple steps that I would like to share with you are as follows. The first thing that really helped me, and this I've been doing it for very, very long time. In fact, even when I never had a smartphone some 10 years ago, but I would never use this feature. And even today, when I have a smartphone, I ensure that all the notifications of my mobile phone are off, unless I am using one of the platforms to make my sales call or connect with a client, or there's an important product that I'm selling and I need to be online and need to address someone's query. These are the most important aspect of a business where you cannot really not have a notification or let a customer query go unanswered. But for anyone who are not really into marketing, sales, or campaigning or any sort of business, notifications are actually the biggest distractions. So this tip is for those. This is not for people into business. That it's very easy that you go into the settings of your mobile phone and close all the unnecessary notifications, which are the biggest distraction for you and which might keep you all the time connected onto your phone, because you may have every now and then an email pop up along with on WhatsApp, your different friends texting or calling you from different locations of the world. Then you have your Instagram, where people are constantly posting their life issues, events, pictures, comments, philosophy. Then you have LinkedIn, where people are sharing stories of courage, sacrifice, tragedies, job seeking, job seekers, running polls, surveys. I mean, it's an endless flow of content simultaneously. Every second, the internet is busy with it. If we were to check the kind of information exchanged in terms of data, we cannot fathom the magnitude at which the data is exchanged. But none of it make any sense, because it's not at all benefiting you. And as I mentioned earlier, it's one of the biggest reason of distraction. So if you really want to de-addict yourself from this constant use of phone or social media, close your unnecessary notifications and you will find yourself so much at peace. The second thing that you could do is to set aside a social media hour. This is something that I taught to one of my clients who had a lot of issues, in fact, mental issues with being addicted to the mobile and to a specific problem that the person had. Friends, it's very easy, because these social media platforms are actually built in a way where they want people to come back to them again and again, or perhaps just be glued to it for the longest period of time. So unhooking yourself from it requires practice, and it's not easy. I cannot ask you to expect positive results in just one single day or even in the next 6 months, because social media is here to stay and the distractions are many, and you have to be on a constant war with each of it. So a much better way is, instead of going to extremes where I'm not asking any one of you to cancel your accounts or completely log yourself out from it. No, don't do that. Set aside a social media hour. This way, unconsciously, you also tell your brain that you're not fighting yourself. Instead, you would be enjoying it, but at a special hour. So the time when you feel it's your leisure time, sometime in the afternoon or maybe in the evening, where you think you can spare maybe 2 hours or an hour as such, set that aside for the social media. Go there, check everything, be there. You will also not feel any kind of stress in your brain that you've been wasting your time. And at the same time, you will enjoy your social media hour, because you are into it. You're texting your friends, you're checking their posts, you are posting your own and all that thing. And then you're really engaged and you're enjoying it. So yes, go ahead, do that. But do that within limits. And for that, you need to set that hour aside for yourself. I would say an hour, because that should be good enough for time for you and your brain to feel, yes, you're not depriving yourself, and neither are you up against your own self. So do that, and you will find a lot of time you have at hand when you're not on the social media accounts. The third step, set a morning or an evening ritual. This is also one of the most common things people do. We all have our rituals or our practices. So if you are a morning person and you have your work or your family or something very important, urgent to attend to, set a ritual, whether it's in the morning or in the evening, that suits you best based on your daily schedule, within which you could set the social media hour as well. So that once you finish most of your important work, you could reward yourself with an hour of all the fun and happiness that you may want to attain or engagement through the social media hour. This way as well, when you do this with a set aside time and alongside your morning and evening ritual, you will find that it's much more easier for you to control your usage of both your mobile phone and also the social media platforms. The fourth step is to practice mindfulness. This term is very common these days. It's not very difficult, but it's also not that easy to always be mindful, like present in the now. However, the immense benefit it brings to your brain is mind-blowing. If you can just check out any research by the neuroscientists, mindfulness brings with itself a plethora of infinite benefits, not just to your mental health, but also to your physical health. It calms down your nervous system and it builds up your neurons, into your brain activity into such a healthy form that you would thank your own self years later on as you age, that how much safety and protection it has provided you from all kinds of mental ailments. So try and practice mindfulness, which will also help you lessen your usage of phone and social media. Finally, let not social media interfere with the most important time of your day. Set aside, just as you've set aside a social media hour, ensure during the day may not be some 7 to 10 tasks, but the 3 main important key things that you want to finish on that particular day. You could be a homemaker, you can be a working professional, you can be anyone from any walk of life. But all of us have our most important tasks for the day. And if you could list the 3 that you may want to complete in a single day, assign that as the most important time of your day. And ensure that your social media hour is never interfering with this. This way, it will help you not just finish your key work or the key assignments or any key project or task at hand you have, but it will also help you balance both your work and your personal life in the most effective way. As always, it's easier said than done, but practice it. So friend, that's all for today. These were the 5 common and simple tips which you could use, practice, and you would see that this could be one of the best gifts that you could give to your own self, specific to your mental health and also your overall well-being. Well, that's all for today. My call to action to you is try, if not all the 5, at least one of it from the 5 tips that I've shared, and you will find a difference, friend. Try it, and you could write to me if in case you need more help in regards to this. Well, thank you so much for your time and thank you for being a listener. I shall talk to you soon.